If you've ever gotten an email from me, you've seen in the signature block, it says Custom Knife Entrepreneur. And I've had people over the years ask me, Les, why do you put Custom Knife Entrepreneur? Knife dealers sell knives. Custom knife dealers sell custom knives. I am, of course, a custom knife dealer. Sometimes they're referred to as purveyors. It's the same thing. What separates me from my fellow dealers is that not only do I buy and resell custom knives, but I do other things as well outside the realm of buying, selling, and trading. One of the things I did that was unique, along with a fellow dealer, Bob Neal, is we did LDC custom knives. This was a collaboration between myself and 10 different custom knife makers to create a series of tactical folders. There were 50 made by each maker. 1 through 25, the way you got those numbers is you had to buy the entire set, which gave you an instant collection. We did 2 of those series, and then we did a fixed blade series that had 5 fixed blades in it, but it was the same thing. You had to buy 1 through 5 to get an entire set. These knives were featured in American Handgunner, and I actually made it onto the cover of Tactical Knives. What I did next when we decided to stop that was I started Vanguard Knives, which was same but different. What this was, it was either a group of knives, like the first group I did was 5 double action automatics, and there was only 25 each of those. But then after that, I did a series of fixed blades with R.J. Martin, Dave Broadwell, Walter Brend, went back and did some more folders, and as a matter of fact, number 58, or check that, 57 Vanguard knife will be coming out in the next week or two, and it's the Guardian Subhill Fighter by Dave Broadwell. After that, I wrote the book, The Custom Knife Buying Guide, which is the only book ever written specifically about collecting custom knives. A lot of good information in here. There's a future video coming on this particular book. Be sure to check it out. After that, I was asked to write for not only Knives Illustrated, which I did for 10 years. I was a custom knife field editor for Knives Illustrated for 10 years, primarily writing profile pieces for the magazine. I did a lot of the 5 makers to look for, 10 hot knives, that type of thing. Shortly thereafter, I was asked by Steve Shackelford to write for Blade magazine, which I agreed to do. And a couple years, for the last 16 years, I've been a custom knife field editor for Blade magazine. What's nice about that is being a field editor, you get that title because of your expertise in a particular area. So that basically, they give you the autonomy to write about whatever you really want to write about. And so I've been fortunate that they've taken articles from me about not only hunters and fighters and bowies, but types of steel, handle material, business aspects of custom knives, just a lot of different things that they allowed me to write on, a lot of different subjects. Then later on after that, I was asked by Joe Kurtzman to write my first article for the Knife Annual. And I've been writing articles for the Knife Annual since 2018, or check that, 2016. And what you're looking for in here in these Knife Annuals, in addition to the beautiful pictures in there, for instance, I did an article in the current issue of Knife Annual 2024 on custom knife makers in Eastern Europe. And they were nice enough to put this article in there, and it discusses 8 different knife makers that you may or may have never heard of before. So again, if you're a collector and you're looking to get additional knowledge, this is the place to go. But this is yet another thing that separates me from my peers, is writing for the magazines, doing the sets of knives. I do a lot of other collaborations on design work and things like that to provide my clients with different knives from makers that they desire, which a unique piece in their collection will help with the value of it, and it gives them something that not everybody else has. So, doesn't make me better than the other dealers. It just, that's the reason I consider myself an entrepreneur, is that I do a lot of different things other than buy, sell, and trade custom knives.